in your face, the mirrors of your dreams. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. Whoa, we have some people here. Aria Realty commenting first. Damn, yeah, you came in about a half hour too early. Aria Realty. Ricky Britt is third. Six Pack Ops is fourth. RH is fifth. Tyler says, "Let's do 100 likes again. Let's get that spread. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy." We have not. I went from 7 viewers to 4. I have 9 likes though, so that is a start. Now 3. Oh, hey, Crystal Stroud, you are lucky number 7. Jack Mitchell, Channing, Chavez, Chavez, Chavez. Jack Mitchell says, "Let's get that spread. Fist bumps together." Sam Brand says, "If we comment a lot before the live stream even starts, we could get him really far behind in the comments. Good night. We could go for a new record." Luckily, I'm almost caught up. And then it says Chavez. Pamela's Cameron says, "Woo." Okay, so now that I'm finally here, and we all looked at the things that we were looking at there, we have a couple of things to go over. Just like a new article coming out that said that eBay is toying with the idea of having NFTs on for sale. There have been no protection laws that eBay has put up so far, but they are working on some so that this way your virtual rights and your virtual property is going to be protected. The same way that Pokemon cards are protected, same way toilet paper, Tesla Tequila, everything that you could think of is protected. I guess the language is going to be a little different. It is really hard to try to guarantee things that are virtual, but I don't know how they're going to mediate that, whether they get their own wallet. But that is just specifically, I think, going to be for Vive Collectibles, just because of how big they're going. And for those of you that did not see, I got a quite the big tax thing, and I'm going to go over exactly what to expect with taxes with crypto, whether it's gains from Earth 2, whether it's gains from OMI, what exactly to expect, how much to set aside for it. And like, Chavez, why are you talking about taxes? Aren't you just going to hodl forever? Well, for the most part, I'd like to, but taking some profit, especially to do other things. I got to 10 likes. This is great. Especially to do other things is going to be something that you're going to need to do it. So, well, you don't need to do it, but if you want to grow into other things, that's just my game plan. Like I said, I'm not going to. I don't even have a way to withdraw from Earth 2. I didn't set it up because I'm not withdrawing from there. Actually, real quick, guys, I have to make sure this is. All right, there we go. The picture looks a little bit clearer now. I'm glad we got that underway. What exactly we're trying to do, for me at least, is to build generational wealth, to build as much wealth so you can retire early. You can get your wife home early, your husband home early, anyone, spend more time with the kids, or at least just spend more time with yourselves. So let's get to the comments real quick, because then I'm probably going to go behind. Oh, all right, not bad. Dave Danjuden says, "What's up?" So as far as taxes go, if you sell anything that you have, whether it's on Coinbase, whether it's on E-Trade or TD Ameritrade, whether it's a cryptocurrency or a stock, if you buy and sell something within 1 year, that's considered a short-term capital gain. So if you put in 10,000 and you take out 15, that is $5,000 of profit that you're going to have to pay, like, depending on what state you're in, like 45% or some ridiculous number. It's quite large. But if you go and you wait for over a year, then you pay a lot less. I think for business owners, it's 21%, just because that's considered an asset on my balance sheet. Tesla is an asset on my balance sheet, same way as Bitcoin is, same way as OMI is. I'm actually probably one of the few people, few businesses to have more than 5 figures of OMI on their balance sheet, and I'm going to be one of the few people to have more than 6 figures of OMI on their balance sheet by the end, hopefully in the next month or two. Same thing with Bitcoin. Other companies, I can't wait to say, like, Chavez Trading Company or Chavez Canto Project has 6 figures worth of OMI and Bitcoin on their balance sheet. I hope I get like mentioned in the news somewhere. That'd be great for the product. But that's just something to expect. And okay, Chavez, why would you sell? Well, again, I'm mostly selling for the long-term capital gains, which is a lot less. But why I would do that is because Bitcoin, crypto, everything seems to go in cycles. And if you look at the bear cycle and the bull cycle for Bitcoin, every couple of years, it's usually, okay, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up. So it retraces a lot. And I think Colander, no, not Colander, there's a Trade Tap Talks. He was talking about this, and because I've been buying Bitcoin and OMI, I'm just going to hodl through this. But just to regurgitate or to go over what he said, saying that around September, October, he argues that you're going to have a start to another bear cycle, the bull cycle, and it will peak and you're going to go down. Now, I'm going to argue against that, saying that in 2013 and 2017, where we've had these bull cycles run and then fall down because of the halving cycle is over, and again and down. Again, we saw this happen in 2017, went way down in 2018. We had a huge bull run, went all the way down. Now, why did that happen? Or why won't that happen again this time? I hypothesize because we're going to have large institutional investors, such as Citibank, such as take out the rest of those institutional investors, put on all of the retail investors, not even people like you and me. I'm talking about other millionaires, other business owners that have millions of dollars that don't know what to do with their money. Put it in a Bitcoin ETF. Again, most of the wealth that has been generated in Bitcoin has been from age 0 to about 45 years old. Usually people 50 and above are not into Bitcoin. They're not into cryptocurrency. They don't understand it. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger don't even understand it. That's how boomer they are. Thank you guys for getting me to 15 likes. That means a lot, especially so early in the stream at 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Right now we have a paradigm shift of where a bunch of these people, like again, Elon Musk, 49, I think, still. We have a shift going where we're not just people trying to make money. This is a mass adoption on a scale that we've never seen into one single currency. It's not just the US changing currency or whatever else. It is the entire world changing over to Bitcoin. That is the reserve currency. The dollar is a reserve currency of the world, in Earth One, but digital-wise, that is digital gold. That is what I guarantee you by 2025, it is going to be commonplace for people to be buying houses with Bitcoin. There's going to be buying houses with, and again, it's not just Bitcoin, it's whatever they serve. Like you have restaurants now accepting Bitcoin, you have PayPal accepting Bitcoin, Square, Cash App, Venmo, all these other places that you can get Bitcoin from. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. When you have these other companies, and why I don't think we're going to go into a crypto winter this year, like many people hypothesize, is because of that big institutional investing, because of the paradigm shift. It's not just, okay, well, here's the chart and this is what normally happens. It goes much, much deeper than that. You have the fact of the matter that, again, big giant ETFs. And it's the same way when people are like, okay, well, Tesla, based on the 20-day and 50-day moving average, like, no, you don't understand. That's not what's going to be happening here with Tesla. Over last year when it had that K-shaped recovery, it didn't happen like that because Tesla was so undervalued for so long. 30-day, 50-day moving averages mean doo-doo at that point. Same thing with Bitcoin. You have mass adoption coming in around October 28th because that's when the ETFs are going to be able to get going to be able to get approved. And again, that's just tip of the iceberg. All right, let's see some comments here. Randy the Man, thank you. HG Rock Online. Conscious Coma says financial freedom. That's what we're all aiming for. Abdurham Ashmari says Bitcoin, it means to drop in a couple of years. XRP to replace it. I don't think XRP is something that will replace Bitcoin. Again, Bitcoin is that reserve currency. I don't think anything will replace Bitcoin. Some people hypothesize Ethereum because Ethereum has that 2.0 coming out where the fees are going to get a lot less. Again, XRP is not going to have the protection of being a reserve currency. That most coins, OMI as well. I don't think Earth 2 because Earth 2 is just going to be getting started. But most cryptocurrencies, most of these altcoins are going to see a winter. They're going to go from here and they're going to go down until it goes back up. Again, the paradigm shift is just starting, but it's going to protect Bitcoin, most likely Ethereum. And we have Gary V's thing tomorrow where he says what exactly all that Bitcoin is for. Probably just dropping NFTs. I'm sorry, what that Ethereum is for. Sorry about that, guys. My throat is hurting a little early today. Oh my God, we already 9 minutes into the stream have a $50 super chat from Raythax. Says veteran to veteran. Thank you for being a voice of hope in this world of confusion. Thank you, Raythax, so much. Veteran to veteran, bro. Let me know where you served. Let me know where we're going with this, and then we'll I'll thank you multiple times. Again, Raythax is one of my heroes. He's one of my bays. Yeah, that's incredible. Thank you so much for that. So moving on. Financial freedom is what we're all gonna strive for here. Daddy Dollar says, "What's up, Randy Chavez?" Oh, your Randy Chavez tattoo's coming this week. All right, so for those of you that don't know, Daddy Dollars is getting the real Randy Chavez tattoo. I think what'd you say, your left side, and for that, in exchange for that, I'm going to give him a plot of tiles in Antarctica. That is just because that you get a real Randy Chavez, but he's just the only one. If I can't be doing that for 10 different people that all get the real Randy Chavez tattoo. So first come, first serve. But be advised that Daddy Dollars is that if somebody gets it tonight, I'm gonna have to give you a call, give you a text, like let you know, like, hey, somebody already did it. They cashed in. Obviously, we're gonna need proof with that and everything. We'll have pictures displayed. Might have a video of it. We don't know. Abdurrahim Ashmar says banks already adopted by banks already. I mean, Bitcoin. It's partially from some people. Like you have places like not just banks. You have big institutional college universities like Harvard, University of Wyoming. You have all of these places that are buying it because colleges are businesses and they have so much money. They're charging people full tuition for last year, this year, and they're not even using any of the amenities. They can't. So colleges are raking it in. Colleges have been raking it in for eons and just taking people to the cleaners. And that's something that I hope to, not that I hope, again, college is needed for many things, but at the end of the day, there are some things, I think, again, we're seeing a paradigm shift where all these examples of people going to college, they're getting into high 5 or 6 figures worth of debt, and they're just not, they're not happy in the field they graduated in. They're not even working in the field they graduated in. I don't know how many times I see on Reddit, like, yeah, I went to college for business, I hate business, went to college for Japanese, hate Japanese, you know, like whatever it is. I was actually just scrolling through it before. But again, you have colleges that are using all this excess money, putting Bitcoin on their balance sheets. Now, be advised, for the people that want to just show a profit for the shareholders, some public companies will sell a little bit of Bitcoin, but they'd be stupid to sell the whole thing. They're not going to do that. What up, sir? So veterans. So again, what up, Just F? Rayfax, thank you again for that $50 super chat. Voice of hope in this world of confusion. And I try to be, as long as we're just on that, I try to be honest. I try to be. Neil deGrasse Tyson says to speak in absolute truth so that nobody can argue against you. Although, and now that we're on May 4th, may the 4th be with you all. Jedi say only Sith deal in absolutes. And I was like, okay, well, that's a fair point, Jedi. Point to Jedis on that one. Yeah, I want to be honest with people. I never want it to be said that I know the real Randy Chavez did wrong by me, or I don't want my name to be tarnished in any way ever. So I always say, like, try to do the right thing by everyone, even if it is not something that is in my best interest. Like, okay, like I'll continue doing this favor even though I think you're screwing me here, just because that's the right thing to do. I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh before, and when Yugi battles that bug monster guy, he's like, "You've cheated all this way, but I, real duelist, battle with honor." And I was like, "Yes, Yugi, yes." So that's just what I try to be like. Captain, I literally was influenced by Steve Rogers, by Captain America, like growing up, and that's what I tried to be in the military as well. Obviously, I was in the Air Force, not in the Army, but anyway, moving on. Totally Awesome says, how many years did you collect Pokemon, by the way? Well, I played it younger, when I was younger, all the time, but I didn't get into serious collecting until I dabbled it in 2016, 2017. Yeah, 2017, 2018 is really when I started getting into it. And I did a deep dive, like data analysis on all the cards. You can go back to my videos a year back, and you're going to see what I was predicting and what I was buying. And I would tell people, same as I'm telling people, hey, what I'm doing in Earth 2, this is what's happening. Oh, by the way, Oliver Jones, for those of you that don't know Oliver Jones' music, he's going to be one of the singers in Chaveztopia to be, I'll pay him for singing the opening ceremonies for whether we have the Chavez Olympics or we have the Chaveztopia, whatever, Key to the City, whatever, he's gonna be singing all that. But the same way I tell people, hey, I'm doing all this in Earth 2, I'm telling you what I'm gonna buy before I buy it, so you have the chance to do that. I've done that with Omi, I've done that with Bitcoin and Tesla, being completely open and honest, saying what I'm doing. And just so, I don't have it on this one. I showed you guys my tax thing yesterday, what exactly I made, and why I walked away from that business specifically for Earth 2, and then YouTube, but mostly Earth 2, and it wasn't even that much. It was like 174 grand, but and that was just gross. But when I said gross, I mean gross profit. But I walked away from that business for Earth 2, and that was just a high risk lending business. I wasn't including Pokemon, buying and selling that, which was a lot more, which was a lot as well. And I did that for Earth 2. I told you guys I told you I was doing it. I told you guys when I was doing that big giant Pokemon card, and I'm selling that big giant Pokemon card. Why? For Omi and for Bitcoin and for Earth 2. Moving on. So I've been seriously collecting Pokemon cards, about 3-4 years. Dave Andron says, awesome, way to go, Daddy Dollar is going to have to post that, tat up. Daddy Dollar's meaning you're going to have to get a Facebook profile picture or something. Totally Awesome says, and what do you think about cancel culture these days? I think that the pendulum, when it should be here, should be center, over the course of X amount of years, can and has swung too far to the left, and then gone too far to the right, and then in order to try to maintain that equilibrium, it does a hard 180 and goes back this way. No, so I think what happened was that people were getting too soft and too, and then people went really, really far to the right. So when people were really soft and they're upset by chalk and they need safe spaces, from Donald Trump, on the college campuses, and then the left started canceling, or what I think. I think the left started to do something good when they said, okay, hey, actually, doing deep dive. This person's actually really racist. This person's like neo-Nazi or whatever, or this person is just classes going against poor people. But then, they exposed some bad people. They had the Me Too thing, and they exposed some very bad people. But they went too far in saying like, okay, well, a joke that this person made 10 years ago, when they were a completely different person, was that wrong? Sure. Should they have made it? No, even though it was a different time. Hard to argue, but then they say, okay, that person's an amazing person now, and they're trying to cancel that person. It's like, all right, how far is that going to go? I mean, they did that with James Gunn. They did that with Jenna Marbles. One of the people that got me through like deployment, and I was like, she made new videos every Wednesday, and I would look forward to that. I would watch it, and I would say like, hey, this is something that gives joy to a lot of people. It is a positive force in the universe. And they canceled her. They tried canceling J.K. Rowling, and she did not even say anything bad. Same with Gina Carano from Star Wars. There's some people that deserve it, but I feel like a lot of people right now don't deserve it, and I don't think cancel culture it works. And they did that to Lindsay Ellis, and she's left. She's so far left. She is a bisexual author, left lady person, and they canceled her because it's just ridiculous. So enough about that. Just F says, bro, believe it or not, your certainty in Ecomi is reassuring to those who look at the price and nod for those who do understand how great the opportunity of Omi is right now. Agreed. And again, for those that are in it for the long term, we don't care what it does short term. I really hope it goes down so we could buy more. But if anyone's seen that movie, Sucker Punch, where that guy from Daredevil, the old guy, and he's just like, for those that fight for it, life has a flavor that the sheltered will never get to taste. And just bringing that in as an investor, a short-term flipper, someone that only views the world, short-term, 30 days out, 60 days out, 90 days out, they're never going to get that big 1000x gain. They might double and triple their money if they get lucky, and sometimes they can, and some people do, but they're going to be doing that for the rest of their lives. They're going to be flipping and flipping, have a huge tax bill. Again, my tax bill was about $8,000 for last year, so it wasn't crazy big, but it was enough that all my payments on Monday is going to go to taxes, and everything in my Pokemon account is going to go to taxes. But yeah, that's something where if you're just constantly flipping, you're going to have to pay such short-term capital gains on that. It's ridiculous. And if you don't declare taxes, if you don't pay those, if you're only a small amount, again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you're only paying like a small amount, or if the gains were only a small amount, there's a decent chance the IRS will miss it. Like, oh, yeah, it's only a couple $100, even a couple $1,000, they're going to miss it. But if they let that accumulate and it goes to, instead of a couple $1,000s, goes to 5 figures, that is tax evasion. And you're not only going to get audited, you're going to have to pay a butt ton of legal fees, a lot more than what you pay your taxes plus legal fees on top of that. And being audited isn't just something that takes a couple weeks. No, they're at it for months, if not years, and you're on their radar forever. So it sucks paying taxes, but you're better off paying the man and then not having to deal with them. That's just best I can say with that. But again, long-term investors don't have to go through that. Long-term investors can go, and I forgot to ask the bank today if I can borrow against my Tesla or borrow against my Bitcoin. But long-term investors, they can borrow against what they have And when they borrow, that doesn't count as income. That sits on their account as a debt. So if you borrow money, let's say $50,000, and you made $50,000 that year, you actually made nothing because that sits on your account as a debt. So that's actually very, very good for you. Again, talk to an accountant before you do this. Go to the bank, make sure everything you're doing is legit. It will vary state by state, but basically the short of the long of it is that short-term flippers aren't going to get those gains that us long-term hodlers are going to get. And I'm not even talking about long-term meaning 1 or 2 years, because OMI can go from here to 6 cents to 10 cents back down to 2 cents. It by 2022, and then could be all the way back up to 20 cents. So it can go that way, but you hodl through that. Again, that's just my strategy. That's what helped me retire at 30. That's what going to help me become a millionaire, make generational wealth, and that's what I hope for you guys as well. Ty Anderson says, "Yep, inside left arm, the pipe of thunder will host the real Randy Chavez logo." Oh, that's gonna be great. A pipe of thunder. We're gonna call you Thunder Arms. Abdurraham Ashmari says, "When is phase 2 will be released, by the way?" Don't say soon. Okay, I won't say soon. I will say that it will definitely be before Q4, which is it'll be before October. We will probably have it in Q3. There's still a chance we have it in Q2, which is January, February, March, April, May, June. We have it in June. But again, they're probably going to do the cryptocurrency announcement first, which should be this month. And once that happens, once they get the ball rolling, they're going to roll it out immediately because, again, that has been ready. Phase 2 has been ready for well over a month now. They've even had the engine trailer for a couple months now already as well for phase 3. So we know exactly what it's going to look like. We don't know exactly what resources there are or the tech tree that'll have. I don't know if we can compare it to the Civilization games or what have you, but it's going to be, I can't wait. Can't wait. And there's probably going to be a learning curve too, because there's going to be a lot of resources. Have to learn a curve on what to do with Essence, how much to build with Essence. Like, should we make the walls really sturdy or should we just build it up? Like, there's going to be a science on how to spend certain Essence and certain resources. Quad Shoto says, "What up, Randy? Found a buddy of mine that's into crypto, but is more focused on the Doge hype. How would you convince him to ride the OMI train instead?" I would convince him on OMI. I would tell him just do what he thinks is right, because I don't know if he's a short-term or long-term holder, or if he's someone that, I don't know his financial situation, but I would tell him just this. I would say, listen, just with this information, you have the creator of Doge saying it was a joke. You have the fact that you can't stake, you can't make NFTs with it, you can't do anything with the Doge coin, but OMI is attached to something real. Them and Vivi form a symbiont circle, where what happens to one affects the other, and you're getting these tokens burned by the millions every single day. Every single day, millions are being burned because they're vertically integrated. It's very disruptive. Disruptive companies thrive when there is, well, one, they thrive in general, but they thrive when there's chaos as well. That's why Tesla and Illumina and Lemonade, they all did so good in 2020, because they were disruptive things. Thank you guys for 30 likes. That means the world to me. Muchas gracias, everybody. I'm gonna have to take a swig here if my throat is. There we go. Much better. Much better. Flashbacks to the Amanda Show. What we have is better. Much better. If anyone see the Amanda Show, comment down below. But and then with OMI, you have that long generational wealth type of growth that has that potential. Doge, yeah, if you bought it in 2014, and Doge, it's never going to go to zero, I don't think, because it's been around for 7 years, almost 8 years, and you had that for a long time. That's hard to do. Same thing with Litecoin, same thing with Ethereum. These things that have been around for 5-10 years, that's going to be hard to destroy. The risk is on OMI, but the greater the risk, greater the reward. What's that thing that Wiki said from Transformers? Like, no sacrifice, no victory. I can't explain it any better than that. You have something that's attached to something real, that's disruptive, with massive adoption coming in, and then you have Doge, which, again, it's fun, but there's just no guarantees what that's going to do. You can't have a chart on it. It's basically all on Elon Musk and what he does on Saturday. It could reach $1. I don't know. but I'm not putting money into. And I'm a cowboy. Whenever I put money into something, I don't just put, oh, I'll put 5% into my 5% of my liquidity into that. No, I put 20, 50, 80% of my money. High risk lending, I put everything into it. Pokemon, I put most of everything into it. Tesla, same thing. In 2020, I was thinking about closing the high risk lending business because I lost $90,000 because none of my clients were going to be able to pay me back. I was like, listen, like, what do we do? Do we pay back this loan for our business, or do we feed our families? Business isn't making any money, so we're going to choose to feed our families. And I couldn't argue with that. I'm not going to, try to squeeze out money from people that have nothing, that are losing their businesses. And so I put it all into Tesla, and now I'm putting it all into Earth 2, Omi, and Bitcoin. So I'm known for being high risk, and I'm still not doing Doge. So that's what I would say to him. Dave Andron says predict is in Vanuatu, just so the rest of the world knows. Not that I really want land prices to go up yet. Dave Andron has a place in, I guess, Vanuatu, and predict, one of a good friend of mine. I think she's a millionaire. She bought in his place. So we have Mass Murders with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Mass Murders. God bless. God bless. Muchas gracias. Chavez blesses thee, and all of thee who donate to his super chat. What we got here is Mass Murders says, "What's good? Hit the like button." Yeah, thank you, Mass Murders. Gamer Girl Emily 1 says, "Yeah, I know, because Predict bid on one of my Vanuatu tiles, which I kindly declined." You declined that. You would have had the chance to be able to go and say, like, I sold to Predict. Actually, one of the only people I traded NFT trading cards with is Tech Ops from Guidebook Gaming. Tech Ops, we traded number 11s. And Predict, we traded number 4s. Those are the only, because I still get messages, but I got dozens of messages each day about, hey, can I get one of your trading cards? Get one of your trading cards? Like, there's so many others out there. No, I can't do it. So I only traded away 2. I'm keeping the rest of mine. But yeah, I did that with Predict, because for someone that spends $300,000 in Earth 2 virtual reality and then buys 10 million Omi, all within like 3 months of each other, that person is going places, and that person will be remembered. She's my hero. Investor Ali says E2 needs to drop this crypto ASAP. I can't wait any longer. Yeah, I can't wait either. Once these tax bills are taken care of in the next week or two, and then once I sell that card, it is over. It's on. I actually hope they don't announce it for another couple. If they announce it tomorrow, I'm effed. I have the couple. I have like 1,800 in that Earth 2 account that I could buy with that. But outside of that, I can't. I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna leave that in there actually. But yeah, I have nothing. So I have to sell some more Pokemon cards really quick at super discounts. I actually just got an eBay notification, so I'll try to do that and then purchase as much as I can. Fambulance Camping says, at Investor Ali, did you watch GG tonight? Random. Oh, Gilmore Girls or Guidebook Gaming? It's definitely Guidebook Gaming. I was there. Oliver Jones was there. It was a great time. Guidebook Gaming, link down below. If you want free tiles, Guidebook Gaming gives out free tiles every single stream. They're amazing. I love them. Game Girl Emily 1 says, I'm so ready for phase 2. I'm going crazy. Yeah, we're all going stir crazy. And I don't know if this is definitely not part of their strategy, but for Earth 2 people, they're going to be like, hey, let's wait. Like, it would be cool if they said, let's make them wait a little longer because we're ready. We're like horses in the stable. We're ready to go. And as soon as we go out, boom, boom, it's out. It's there. Quad Shoto says, short-term flipping thought applies to Pokemon collecting too. Why put the time and effort for minimal gains when you can sit on product and let it appreciate on its own? I 100% agree with that. Like, you hit the nail on the head. You have all these people, not only just for minimal gains, but they're wasting so much time. Let's say if I go to Target and I buy a couple of these things, let's say I spend, 50, because I think they're only getting you one package or one box per person. Let's say you spend 50, $100 on it, and let's say you make 50% on your money. So you put in 50%, $100, you make $50 on it, not including shipping. Okay, so you make about, $45 on it. Then again, we'll have to pay taxes at some point, but I'm not even go into that right now. $45 on it, but that's not including the hour that you have waiting in line and going to the post office, spending gas in your car. It's just time is worth more than that. Time is worth a lot more than that. Quadroto says scalpers, flippers equal dum-dums. I will have to agree. Investor Ali says Fambulance Camping. If you mean GG as in horse racing, I'm not much of a fan, so no, I didn't watch. Does GG mean horse racing? I remember when the Triple Crown was going on, I don't know how many years. It wasn't even the Triple Crown. I think it was just a random horse race. where they named the horse Hoof Hearted, like he had a lot of heart in his hooves. But when the announcer was saying like Hoof Hearted is going down the line, Hoof Hearted is rolling into the inside, like it was Hoof Farted. I was like, oh my god, that's so creative. That's really good. Dave Androna says, haha, Game Girl Emily, did she build around you at least? Way to hodl. Way to hodl. Not sure I would have been able to put that on hold. Totally ready for phase 2. Tim Fick says, bought 100,000 more OMI today due to the nice low price. Congrats, Tim Fick. I actually do have some Bitcoin in my Cash App that I could send over to Ari Realty, and he could buy my OMI for me. So I might do that if prices go down, let's say next week again. But if they do, yeah, I would put most of the rest of my Bitcoin in there because I would love to. Just F says, generational wealth is the end result of my Ecomi investment. Yeah, and again, you have to decide when to get out. I mean, if you have, and for me, if let's say this goes to, and again, 10 cents by the end of the year, I think might be a little conservative, but let's say if you have 100,000, or let's say you have 1 million OMI, and it reaches 10 cents, okay, that's $100,000. Even though you're gonna have to pay short-term capital gains on that, I don't know if it's 35%, 40%. It's a ridiculous amount. Let's say it's 45%. Okay, so you pay 45% on the gains, whatever that is. You could sell and then, just pay those taxes and then reinvest on a dip. Again, that's if it dips. If it goes to 10 cents and then goes down to 5 cents again. Is it worth it? I'm not going to do that. But if you want to lock in some things, pay off some credit card debt just so you mentally feel better, pay off or a decent amount on your house. If you want to do that, that's something that if it's going to help you mentally and you're going to be even mentally worse off if it goes from 10 cents, yes, and it goes down to 5, you're like, oh my God, no, then by all means do that. But again, whenever that crypto winter does come, there's going to be, I don't know if OMI is going to be affected by that because again, it's in a disruptive industry, so it should probably go. It'll have that nice K-shaped recovery when it happens, and it'll go to the heckin' moon. But I'm just going to cost dollar average on every dip. I'm just going to buy more because now that I have a YouTube, I'm expecting to go up. I'm expecting it to be bigger every single week. I have 2,850 subscribers now. So that's, again, just keeping things transparent. That's just what I'm doing, adding on every dip because that is life-changing money for OMI. So Fanless Camping says, no, sorry, Guidebook Gaming. A new user dropped into the chat, claimed to be Wolfgang, and says, big announcement regarding GoChain E2 resources coming tomorrow at 7 UK time. That is interesting. Well, I guess he knows who Guidebook Gaming is, so it would be interesting. So again, if it's GoChain, or they might, I don't think it's GoChain. I think they're just going to be using something on GoChain. And again, that could be OMI. That could definitely be OMI. If it's not, then it's something else. If it's OMI, we're all, take what I'm saying, 10 cents is laughable, 16 cents by the end of the year, if Earth 2 is using OMI. Because then you have both worlds, like two worlds collide. Oh, actually, half hour in. Two worlds collide, rival nations. It's a primitive fact. Many years of frustration. Red leader hopes against all hope. There's so much at stake. Every half hour I go on and I do give my Patreon members a shout out. And for those of you that do not don't know, this is my referral code. Use that and you can get many percents off. 5% off. So moving on. Jack Mitchell says, Gary Vee just tweeted, update, I just don't feel like we are where I want to be to launch. Sorry for the delay. Oh, so he's delaying it? Get the fudge out of here. Slap me sideways and call me Johnny. So Gary Vee is delaying it. That is interesting. I wonder what is going to happen to Ethereum that he said that. Conscious combs, yep, coat the throat. That's what I do with my mushroom milk. Dang it, Gary, he's just proving he's part of Earth 2 somehow. He should have just said Shun. Well, the founder of GoChain follows Shane, and Ecomi and Vivi that are on the GoChain network, they follow Gary. So there is a connection. If we play 4 clicks to, well, I'm not going to say that. We got 7 degrees to Kevin Bacon or whatever you have. That's what's going to be. That you can make that connection right there. And then not only that, but you have Teslas that can, again, Elon Musk is a gamer. You have him saying like, hey, play Polytopia in my Tesla. I think we should be able to play Earth 2 in there as well. Imagine putting your NFTs on a Tesla. That would be so boss. JP says, my strategy is to sell 25 million OMI end of year, buy back with a bigger bag for long term. How many OMI do you have, JP? I think we've gone over this before. This is when the bear market, but that's good. Yeah, and if I were to do that, if let's say it goes to a ridiculous amount, let's say it goes to 30 cents by the end of the year, I'll sell half. I don't even want to sell half. I can't do that. I'll sell maybe like a couple million OMI. 1 million OMI would be $300,000 if it's at 30 cents. So I'll do that. I'll save 100 grand for taxes. I'll take 100 grand of that and I'll stake that OMI, or USDT or Ethereum, whatever it is. And then the other 100 grand I'll put in as like a down payment on a condo or whatever. Something that I can rent out, just create another stream of revenue. Again, the end goal is to buy wilderness areas and protect all animals. But let me know if there's any other type of plans that you have if you're going to do that as well. Again, save some for taxes. Hetman says September. September is when a lot of people think the bear market is going to have. Again, Mass Murders, thank you so much for that $20 super chat. I'm just getting to that now. That is super fantastic. You are bae. Hetman says all you need is Bitcoin, ETH, ADA, ICX, and OMI. So I still haven't gone down the rabbit hole with Cardano, but the more I beat around the bush, it looks like it's something that will stand the test of time as well. Cardano, I think, is something that'll be, again, not even having gone deep down the rabbit hole, it looks pretty solid long term. ICX, I'm not sure what it is either. I have to look into that. I still haven't gone into CRO. Someone told me to do that. I have to do that after the stream. Jack Mitchell said, did you see that Tile Life YouTube channel players sold up all their land and withdrew? Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, E2 the Boss did that. Tile Life did that. E2 the Boss apparently turned out to just do some wrong things. But Tile Life, I remember watching a couple of their videos. They made multiple videos, like 4 or 5 videos a day. And it's like, wow, that's a lot. And yeah, it says someone who's streaming twice a day. But the fact that they did that is just saying, okay, well, maybe he tried something and it wasn't working as fast as it was. I don't know his reasons for leaving E2, but I see a lot of people complaining and saying like, hey, I've been waiting a week for withdrawal. What is this? Or I've been waiting, like, okay, things take time. Again, if you sell stocks on E-Trade, it has to wait for the account to settle. And then if you ACH it, it takes like 2 to 5 business days. So you could be waiting 2 weeks for your money. So, and those are big things that have hundreds of billions of dollars running through. Earth 2's only got what, tens of millions of dollars running through. They might have 100 million, maybe. I'm not sure what they're worth, but that, with them going into crypto, if you were not sure, or you were on the fence, like, oh, maybe these guys are only doing it for a few years so that, they could be bought out. When they're doing crypto, the same thing what the VV developers did with OMI, this is your sign that they are in it for the long term. Developing a crypto, knowing that takes years to go to, with Earth 2 it won't, because they're an already established game and it's an established platform, an established user base. That's going to go to the moon pretty quickly. But for the people with VV, they started this a couple of years ago. They can, I guess, as of May 11th, start liquidating some of their OMI, but they're not good. Again, they had frozen 94 billion or about 96 billion OMI, and that had to come out of what went to the team. So that cut in their OMI by half. If they were in it for the short term, they would have done something completely different, but they didn't. They went and they continued to go and say like, hey, let's continue with this because it's a swell idea. This is something that's going to be terrific and it's disruptive. They were talking about NFTs when they were like, it's like that meme that says like, how high do you think Ben Franklin was to think about electricity when there was no electricity? And they were talking about NFTs when nobody else was talking about that. Earth 2 was designing this game when we were on the precipice of it. And again, look where they are now. So these guys are in it for the long haul. BV, Earth 2, that's why I love them. Bet on the jockey, not the horse, but we're betting on everything here. Story of Joshua says Lifetime. Lifetime? Like make you cry Lifetime? Like the bad stories that like middle schoolers could write Lifetime? Mass Murder says, where is your town at so I can start buying land around it? So mine is Chavez Topia. The link should be down below. It should say Chavez Megacity. And again, it's 7 miles long. It is one of the greatest megacities, I think, in all of Earth 2. Okay, more coding. There we go. Oh, the bowl combo! I mentioned you so much. Whenever we talk about things, saying like, yeah, big players in the game. We'll be like, all right, so you got those nameless and tech offs from Guidebook Gaming, you got Aria Realty, you got the bowl combo, and you got like British Guy Dork Slayer. I always mention you. I'm so glad you're here, bowl combo. You are the man. Mass Murder says on Earth 2. Sorry, I didn't know a lot about Rs 2, but got to think 100 tiles. Really don't know a lot about Rs 2, but got to think. Oh, if you got 100 tiles in Chavez Topia, congrats, senor. That is a yeah, they're great. I build up usually a different spot each week. Try to spend about $100 a week on it, just buying more tiles. The only time where I don't is if they release another country, and I'll put as much as I can, get as much cheap tiles as I can, up to about 20, 30 cents, because that way I get all the resources and all the essence, and I'm just gonna bring it into Chavez Topia. It is gonna be one of the best around, guaranteed. Hetman says I own a lot of tiles in Eritrea. Join my empire, Eritrea. That is interesting. Someone comment down below with that, with a link to that, or DM me a link. Hilda Munan says all my tiles are streets in Turks and Caracas. Not 100% sure what that is, but if you want streets, we have streets in Chavez Topia. It is actually the longest main street, I think, of any megacity. Massmurder says don't know how to buy in Chavez Topia. Hetman said when the crypto winter comes out, all you got in the projects. Yeah, put all you got in the projects you believe in, 100%. I mean, that's what I'm doing now, and I'm just going to hodl through the winter. But there are some things that I think are going to be, they're going to have colders. They're going to resist the winter. Again, anything that is disruptive, like Earth 2, like Vivi, like these are the companies that are disruptive, that are in trillion-dollar industries. Again, they're not yet, but they will be. I'm literally betting my retirement on it. Hilda Munoz says trying to get a small city. Very nice. Quad Shoto says dips equal clearance specials, and I'm wiping the shelves. Mind-boggling hodling. That's the spirit. That's exactly what I'm doing as well. Oh wow, I'm still 9 minutes behind. The Underdog says, Hilda, what island in the Turks? Hilda Munoz says, I used it all the time, Randy. Oh, you used my referral code. Thank you. Oh god, hiccups. Underdog says, nice, we're over on Salt Clay. Welcome to the neighborhood. I love everyone getting along together. That's great. Grandmaster Mahwa is like Korean barbecue. Heck yeah. What if Earth 2 coin is OMI? Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. If they're going to be using something on the GoChain, and what is on the GoChain? It's OMI. They could be making something themselves, but oh my god, if they're using OMI, that would actually be brilliant. Because let's say if I don't know how many billions they could buy of OMI. Somebody do the math real quick. Let's say if they have $10 million worth of, they buy 10 million US dollars, how much OMI is that? Because that would be, oh god, that'd be so much that they could buy. And let's say, I don't know how many billions of coins that is. They could keep, I don't know, 100 million for themselves, and then just disperse the rest to us. And yeah, that again, if that happens, OMI does not go to 10 cents at the end of the year. It goes to 16, 20 cents because there's so many different users. You have a built-in base of a couple 100,000 users that are just going to go for OMI. And there are big pockets. You got Investor Ali, you got Alex, you got JP, you got me, you got Predict, you got Aria Realty, Nameless Tech House, the Bowl Combo, and British Guy Dork Slayer and his giant army. It's gonna be ridiculous. Hilda Munoz says, cool, check it out. Gig says, Tile Life probably sold their E2 to invest in crypto. Kind of stupid since Earth 2 is gonna be using crypto anyway, and each tile was completely unique. So, Investor Ali says, sad but cool to think that our kids will be meeting up in VR instead of real life. COVID has proven that almost everything can be done online, even education. I agree, and that's what's going to make us money. We're going to be able to have meetings, like people, we can rent out these spaces that we build to giant companies that come in and say like, hey, let's do virtual meetings here. But also, I think if anyone's ever seen I Care a Lot, it's with Peter Dinklage, that I love him so much, and some random woman, I think she's from Gone Girl. And at the end of the movie, spoilers if you haven't seen, click away for 10 seconds. He says, he proposes her that like, hey, I can just pay you off and we'll never see each other again, or we could partner up. And she's like, you're kidding me, right? And he says, no. And then she's like, well, how do I know I can trust you? And he says, if we make each other rich, the trust will come. And with all of us getting rich together and getting to know each other in virtual reality, I see zero reason why we can't all just meet up in real life, why we can't have our kids meet up in real life, why we can't. I think they did an episode about that on George Lopez, where there was Freddie Prinze Jr. had a show after him. It was just called Freddie, where George Lopez's kid is friends with Freddie's kid or niece or whatever. And kids are so great about just being so trusting, which obviously you have to inculcate into them. Hey, don't trust everyone you meet, especially online. But I think the longer we know each other, I think, I don't have kids, but I'll totally introduce you all to my girlfriend's dogs, her dog and cats. She only has one dog, solo. But yeah, people are great, and as much as I love my friends, like, yeah, their kids are awesome. I get to be the uncle that teaches them all the dirty words, teach them all the curse words, teach them to curse in Spanish. Yeah, just stuff like that. It's just fun stuff. We go out and we have a bunch of junk food before we get on a roller coaster. And that's the type of uncle I will be. So we have Hilda Munaz says, I got one close to the runway. Very nice. Oh, I love you, La Sombra. Love you too. Hilda Munaz says the other is South by Marina. Apple Pine says, what's good, Randy? Missed 40 minutes, sadly. It's okay, Apple Pine, because we're here just talking. All right, so taxes, just pay them. If you hodl for more than a year, you have to pay much less taxes after you sell than if you sell in like 6 or 8 months or whatever. So definitely do that. That's basically a recap of what you missed. Investor Ali says, diamonds aren't affected by the coldest of winters. Diamond hands, baby. I would put my hands against anybody's. Yeah, metaphorically and figuratively. Underdog said, awesome, thanks for the love and support. Thank you, Underdog. Pamela's Camping says 1.6 trillion would be 10 million. Really? No. 1.6, because that 10 million goes to, it's 0.0055 that they have. So $10 million would buy, I don't think it would buy that much. It wouldn't buy 1.6 trillion on me. It would buy maybe 1.6 billion on me, I'm hoping. I don't know. Again, my math, I can't do it. Grandmaster Wallace says, how much do you think Class 1 USA Disney tiles are worth? About, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I could consider that being double of what that is because of the location. Again, you have some places like the Vatican. You have some places like Rio de Janeiro where it has that statue of Christ. Some places that people are just going to pay so much for. So I could see it being double, if not like 5x. Wall Street, same thing. Miami, same thing. Aria Realty has sold all those for well above market price. Well above market price. That's more than 750 billion. Isn't that the total? Yeah, Omi only has 750. So I don't think that you can put in $10 million and get all of that. I don't know. Somebody, oh man, maybe it is. Maybe I'm tripping. Gary Mitchell says Gary V's most recent tweet. At this point, I'm too concerned to give a new time. I'll keep you updated. Damn, Gary V just derping everybody. He's just, man, this is a troll. This is a troll. Somber says 10 million is okay. So we got 1, 2, 3. Oh, all right. Yeah, that is a lot of Omi. But you sure that's? I can't do the comments. All right, hang on. Going microscopic here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh no. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh wow, yeah, that is 1.7. Okay, so I guess you can't put in $10 million into Omi, or maybe they would have to buy it in blocks. And if they put in, let's say, $1 million, and then it goes and it gets more, and then instead of 0.5, I don't know how much $1 million would move it. Yeah, let me know. What says, do you think you'll be able to build if you buy tiles on water? Yeah. So not only can you terraform those tiles, but you can build something with bayous. You can build like docks. You'll be able to build. You should be able to build whatever you want. But if you can't, then you could just terraform those 1 or 2 tiles or however many tiles you want, and then you'll be able to build on that. But you could build anything if you put it on like a buoy or a boat. You could have floating islands as well. Even in real life, in Earth 1, you can take giant things of plastic and made a floating island. Saw it on Ripley's Believe It or Not once. It was really cool. So no reason you can't do that in Earth 2. Somber says, I hope so, because I'm doing a few underwater bases. Oh, nice. Is it going to be like, where's the place that Jar Jar Binks lived with the guns under Naboo? I forget what that place is called. Evu Hong says, watching Logan Paul boxing at the Logan Paul location be crazy. That'd be legit. I'm actually going to bet on him on June 6th, I believe he's fighting Mayweather. I don't know how much, maybe like $100. I don't know what the odds are, but I remember in 2018, I went to Vegas and the odds of the Islanders winning the Stanley Cup was like 10,000 to 1. I was like, I'll put $100 on it. So I put $100 on them, completely forgot about it. It was a drunk bet. And then what happened was that I forgot about it until they made the playoffs. I was like, what? They made the playoffs? I don't really watch hockey. It's like, so what's 10,000 to 1? I was like, so I go and I was like, and they swept the first round, like, they're gonna win. But then after they lost the second round, I was like, oh, but yeah. So I actually had that with Conor McGregor when he fought Mayweather. It was like 700 to 1 if he won with a TKO in like the fourth round. So I put $100 on it. It's like, oh, all right, yeah, I'll do that. But Mayweather's never fought anyone this big before. Logan Paul is a big dude, and he can probably absorb a decent amount of the punches that Mayweather is going to be throwing at him. And as long as he defends, again, he's probably not going to be able to hit Mayweather at all. If he does, he's just going to hit mass. But maybe that's the thing. Hit Mayweather. Like if I'm going to fight Mayweather, let's say if I was going to fight him, I know he's not going to be able to knock me out. Wait until he punches, or even just get inside, absorb a few of his punches, and beat his arms. If I can beat his arms enough, build up lactic acid in it, make it impossible for him to, which I don't know how many rounds it is that's going, but that's what I would just keep doing. I would just take punishment. I know he's going to destroy my arms, but as long as I keep hitting his arms, eventually I'll probably get him, and especially uppercut. That's what I would do. But again, this is an exhibition. I don't think they're going to go crazy. But if it was, again, he outweighs them by so much money, by so many pounds. Mayweather's like, he's a small dude. So again, that's what I would do if I would fight him. But again, it's kind of an unfair advantage. I would like 40 pounds more than him, and I think Logan Paul weighs more than me. So, yeah. Famblin says it's billion, not trillion. Yeah, it's billion. 1 billion. All right, that makes sense. So yeah, if they're to get 1.7 billion. From if Earth 2 was get 1.7 billion OMI, and they keep 700 million of them for themselves. Oh my God! And just released $1 billion for us. Oh my, that would be. Yeah, that again. If they were to do that again, I've told them to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet, but that was before I knew about OMI. It would be a calculated risk, but that would probably be the smartest move. Knowing that all the rest of the OMI get burned and we're just going to be, that would be the smartest move, not just for them, but for us as well. We would make so much money. That would definitely shake out the weaker hands. If Earth 2 would have spent $10 million, which is again, they spent seven figures on a tech acquisition. That's going to be, so they would have about 10 million. It's not, I'm going to say it's nothing for them, but that they have hundreds of thousands coming into them every day. If they were to do that and keep 700 million for themselves and just release $1 billion, yeah, I say that goes to, it goes to like 12 cents just on that news alone. Just because, I mean, you also have so much that's taken out of the market, and if we all hodl, and especially those people that aren't even hodling, that are just ready to go and take it, it's going to be so erratic. That's again just predictions for that. I am sorry. I am only 5 minutes behind on this. Have you heard about the Bill Gates divorce? Yes, I've seen the memes of that are great. There's one with him standing next to Jeffrey Epstein, which he didn't kill himself, by the way. And it's like a Tinder profile for Bill Gates, and he's just like looking for a young woman with fresh blood or something like that. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, I don't know much about Bill Gates, but I do know that he has helped eradicate at least a couple of diseases. I think it was like malaria or something. Whether he does that consensually or not, I don't know the ethics. It's like, okay, well, what about those doctors in like the 40s that would give, experimental vaccines to children and look at the reactions and look at this? Yeah, they might have killed 50, 100 kids, but they saved millions of lives. Is that worth it? I think there's good arguments to be made for both sides. Bill Gates, again, I don't know as a person. Some of the stuff he's done seems really good, but also he outspent the U.S. government, talking about saying like he has monopoly. Took him to court like 3 different times, and U.S. is just like, just give it to him. Propping up Apple and bringing back what do you call it? What's his name? Not Jeff Bezos. Who's the guy that was in Apple? I forget his name. The other one that everyone loves, but he was like an a-hole apparently. Anyway, he brought him back after they had forced him out, and they bring him back, and yeah, and then Apple does great again. So he saved his competition. No problem, families. Grandmaster Model says, what if we made all crypto into physical paper? I think it would lose its potency, lose its meaning. Zana says, E2 to the moon. Agreed. Dave Andron says, apparently underwater is going to be as detailed as land. Oh, that's going to be really cool. I hope they get the flora and the fauna and all the, what's that called when they have the barrier reef, the coral reef, all that. That'd be so exciting. Quad Shoto says, the Gates divorce is symbolism to the internet and a sign that crypto is here to take. That's actually that would make some poetic sense. Like, hey, yeah, one, what did Gandalf say to the trio, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli? Says, one part of your journey is over, another begins. As he's Gandalf the White now. So, yeah, he was Gandalf the White. Totally Awesome says, where can I buy Earth 2? So there's a website, and you can actually link to my Megacity down below, but the Earth 2 crypto is not available yet. That should be announced, I'm hoping this month, or even soon then. Yeah, 10 million is 2 billion OMI, so that's, yeah, if they keep $1 billion for themselves, even if they keep 500 million for themselves, 1.5 billion for us. Well, if 1.5 billion for us would be 7.5 million. I don't think we could absorb that. They'd probably keep $1 billion for them, $1 billion for us, because that's only about 5 million. I think we could absorb that pretty quickly. Steve Jobs, that's who he was. Thank you for that. So outside of, let me go back to the original topic while I'm finally caught up with comments. What to expect with virtual reality and taxes. Again, you have eBay talking about NFTs. eBay saying that they will use their protection program. I don't know if they're trying to take away from Vive or just cash in on it, but Vive is just one giant corner of the market where you have things with, again, Earth 2, those Easter egg NFTs. This is going to be another giant corner of the market. But even if eBay takes 20% or 15% of the market, being of secondary market, that's going to be huge for them. Again, PayPal does this as well with Bitcoin, and I think Square and everything else does that as well. Konzo says, Randy, my man, how the heck are you? I am doing very well. I am continuously drinking muscle milk so I can coat my throat for the last 58 minutes, and it has been working pretty well. I have water here next to it. I've been trying to stream once in the morning for my European peeps, and then once at night for everyone else. And then I got my trusty, I got up to 41 likes. That is great. My trusty subscribers here that all came up from Guidebook Gaming afterwards, which is great. So I got to shout out them. I got to love them for that. But yeah, as I was saying, it's your idea if you want to lock in some gains, if you want to take profit, if you buy it 0.006, if you buy it 0.6 of a penny and then you sell it 6 cents, again, you 10x your money. So I'm not going to blame you. I understand why you're doing that. I just wouldn't do that because I know where it will go. Even if it goes from 6 cents to 10 cents, then it goes back down to 2 cents, and then it goes up to 20 cents, the year after. I just know where it's going in the future. That's why I won't do why I won't sell. Even though other people who do sell, I understand why. It's just not something that I would do because I don't want to pay those short-term capital gains tax, which is a lot. That is so much. But if you open up a business, it's much, much easier because everything that comes in is income and that goes out is an expense. So that's just what I would do. Again, talk to an accountant as well. Investor Ali says, Earth 2 items, weapons, gear should all be made NFTs, and the rarest items should have a max copy similar to eggs. That's a very good idea. I don't know what the max copy would or should be, because if this is something where it could work out in our favor, because if this is something, same thing with Vivi, collectibles and Omi, where they're making things right now that are 1 of 1,000, 1 of whatever, but that kind of works because there's only 250,000 users. We have a little bit more than that with Earth 2, but what happens when there's 10 million users, both in Vivi and in Earth 2? all fighting for these really rare items. Those rare items could be the best in the game, and you could be king of that game, or you could sell that and make 5 figures, six figures. Because some items like collectibles, they don't actively make you money. The NFTs will that are in VV because you're going to be able to lend those out. But the collectibles, for the most part, like my Trophy Kangaskhan does not actively make me money. It only makes me money if I sell it. But if you have something in Earth 2 that is a super rare item that, yeah, you could sell it for $50,000 or $100,000, whatever you want. But in that same breath, that could be very useful in the warring world. And the loot that you get from that is, let's say, $500 a week, $1,000, or a couple $1,000s a month. You could live on that. You could back that. God, change lives. And again, I like that it's pot luck. I like that the fact that you could have 3 tiles and one of those could produce a very rare resource that everyone wants. Or you'd be like me, you could have 20-something thousand tiles and okay, well, I don't get anything special, but I at least get to make, let's say, a penny on each of those. And a penny on each of those is going to be, that'd be what, 2,000, that'd be $200 a day if I make a penny each day on those. So again, that could be amazing. So I'm in this for the long haul. I see where Earth 2 is going. That's why I left my business. That's why I closed up the Chavez Trading Company business specifically so I could play Earth 2. And that was before OMI. Part of me wanted to go back to work so I could invest more in OMI. But I realize now that, with Earth 2 going back to getting ready for phase 2 and YouTube starting to pick up, it's better that me do this, because if I go back to work, I definitely can't stream twice a day. Even at night would be hard. So that's what I'm doing. Conzo says, I bought OMI at 1 cent. All right, so your dollar cost averaging down here. Conzo says, I'm down bad around. Yes, you are down currently. There was some dude, I forget his name, he bought 150,000. He put $150,000 into OMI at like 1.1 cents or whatever. Again, I'm gonna put 150 grand in once I sell that card. I don't care what it's at, and whenever I buy it at, it can drop. It could be cut in half. It could take a 70% haircut. If I buy it at a penny, it goes to 0.003, 0.3 of a penny. I'm okay with that because I know where it's going in the future. Don't worry about where it's going short term. Just hodl for dear life. That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, definitely don't sell and lock in your losses. Again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but definitely don't. Oh, we are at an hour now, so we are going to go. What should we do for this? I know Wraithax likes 80s, so let's do something with, we did Bon Jovi this morning. Someone give me an 80s song. It's not an 80s song, but it's, where have all the good men gone, and where are all the gods? Where's the streetwise Hercules to fight the rising odds? Isn't there a white knight? It actually is an 80s song, I believe. Bonnie Tyler, I love you. All right, so Luke Blackby says, hey, Randy, just wondering what are your thoughts on renting out the resale Batman in the future? I know it's a guessing game, but interested. Yeah, people are going to be knocking down other people's doors for renting out for buying that Batman and renting it out, because again, you're going to be able to fight your NFTs. NFTs are going to be able to interact with each other. That's another reason why I want to get more, is so that I can rent them out, just another stream of income. That's why in Earth 2, I'm so keen on getting resources so I can build buildings and rent them out, because it's going to be hard for other people to come in and get in and say like, hey, I have something that I have people here ready to go, meeting in virtual reality, but I don't want to make all the time to build these buildings, buy these resources. Can I just rent out your space? 100%. So I just want to do that so I can get another stream of revenue coming in. Mr. J1S, one of the rappers that will be performing at the Randy Chavez Center, I don't know what to call it, I'm just going to have a stage for people, says there's way better things you can do with $100 than bet a YouTuber would beat Floyd. You're right, there are, but on the off chance that it happens, that he wins, and let's say it's 700 to 1, okay, we'll add 2 zeros to that. It's $100,000. So, or 700,000 or 70,000? Yeah, 70,000, I think. Mr. J1S says, might as well just set it on fire. Logan absorbing shots doesn't matter because he can't even land one power shot on Floyd. So many people are going to lose money that night on Logan. They might. They 99.98% chance will. But again, if you heard my blueprint of trying to fight him, Mayweather's older. He, doesn't have it takes him a lot longer to get into shape. And I doubt he's taking this fight seriously. I mean, even if he was sitting on the couch for 2 years, I get it. Like, he didn't just forget how to fight. He knows exactly what to do. But he's never fought someone this big. And it's not like Logan Paul is just like, he's been learning how to fight, and he's a really good athlete. I get it. I know he's not an actual fighter. He hasn't fought anyone with actual experience, I think. But it's just something that I'm excited to see. David Thompson says, "Hey, Chandy, what's good, bro? What's good, buddy? How's it going?" David Thompson, how you doing, fam? So getting more back into the Earth 2 Omi Viverse, what I'm going to do with as far as passive income, as far as collectibles, that somebody else brought up before, you're going to have the renting aspect down. And I don't know who missed it the other day or what I streamed this morning, is talking about the art of the deal, the art of selling, the art of trying to get what you want. If I talked about this before on last night's stream, let me know, but I think I did it this morning. It's hard to tell with the two streams. Say, can I rent this out for this price? If I rent it out for this price, will that work for you? This is if you're going to buy something. If you want to rent out something or buy something, they say no. Okay, well, what if I come in at $5 higher each month or each day? Is that something that would work for you? Ask them to buy multiple times. If you ask them to buy just once and they say no and you give up, you're going to get your door slammed in your face 90% of the time. But if you ask them to buy 3, 4, or 5 times, that will help. In that same way, when debating about selling something or renting something out of yours, say like, hey, listen, this is a prime location I have, or if it's in Miami or Chavez right next to Main Street, hugest mega city ever, you want to be able to go and get a piece of this foot traffic. So I'll rent it out to you for whatever it is, $100 a month or whatever. And whatever you want, let's say you want to rent it out $50 a month. Start at $100. If they say yes, they say yes. Especially if you're dealing, and I'm just going to be not sexist at all, women happen to be less agreeable than men. If you are trying to get something with a man, same thing. You're going to have to ask him to buy 4 or 5 different times. Start up here. Will this work for you? Oh, if I could do that, would you move forward? What if I do this? If this happened, would that work for you? Whereas a woman who's less agreeable might say yes on the first time. Like, yeah, I'll do that. Happened with my friend Julie, who was a political analyst, political speaker, and she would get asked to speak at things, and she would pay her own way. She would pay her own airfare. She would pay her own thing, and she would get a small amount for speaking. Whereas the same guys in that same field that were less popular than her, they would argue, and they would say, yeah, well, can you comp my flight? Okay, well, can you comp my living conditions, my hotel? Sure. Actually, that you charge me to speak, I'd like more than that. So it's all about being a little more assertive and being less agreeable. If you are less agreeable, then you are more likely to get a much better deal. Again, just tools of the trade as far as sales goes, and as far as trying to get what you want out of a deal. Again, I did high risk lending. I'm very, very good at this. David Thomas says, do you like top rope wrestling with regards to Pokin Lol and Moid Mayweather? Yeah, top rope could be cool. Maybe I'll go in there one day. I'll give it a shot. Again, I've wanted to try to organize a thing with Guidebook Gaming, with Tech Ops and Nameless and the Bull Combo and British Guy Dork Slayer. I wanted to get like a boxing thing going. The creators of Earth 2, which I'm pretty sure I'd win, with one hand, but it'd just be a fun promotional event for E2, like all the creators, especially if we just make it like a sparring match, like an exhibition thing. It's not really going to mean anything. It's just be something that would be fun to do. Just to promote Earth 2, to promote Chaveztopia, to promote any of the mega cities, Alpha Kingdom, Silent Hunters Project, Lone Wolf Tavern, any of those guys. It'd be fun. But outside of that, you're going to have that with NFTs as well, with Vivi. You're going to be able to go with Vivi and say like, hey, we are having this type of fight here. You're going to have sponsored fights by the actual Ecomi company when it involves NFTs, but you're also going to be able to have something that local matches that you can set up yourself. And local matches that you set up yourself, probably going to be a lot of gambling in there. So if you know someone that's like, oh, this guy is really good with his NFT, like bet the house. If you know that, like, well, this guy kind of stinks, like I know, like bet against him. So there's lots of money to be made everywhere, just on the secondary market. Tertiary market, if you do like what CDOs used to do, say like, okay, well, I'm betting that this guy wins. Then you can have another bet saying, I'm betting that he is successful. And then you have more bets on top of that if it's a sure thing. Now, most likely they're going to win. But if that crumbles, then you have a lot of people losing a lot of money, which is, again, that's what CDOs used to do in stock market and stuff like that. Moving on, I'm a big fan of Chandy Chavez. Thank you, David Thompson. Thank you so much. So we're going to have the NFTs going, which you can rent out. You could use yourself. Me, I don't think I would have time to be able to learn how the NFTs work as far as fighting, as far as it goes. I might dabble in it, but I wouldn't put, unless it's Super Smash Brothers, I'm not going to be able to put my skills against, these people that are unemployed and have all this time to put 16 hours a day into learning how their NFTs work and how to fight with them. Super Smash Brothers, yeah, it's on. But for NFTs, no, I'd have to rent mine out. Most likely and it's a fair thing to buy a resale Batman or to buy something that is going to be really good, pay $10,000 for it, and then rent it out for, $50 a day or, a couple $100 a week, and then eventually make your money back. Obviously, I think that could be used in other ways as far as staking other altcoins, investing into Bitcoin, OMI, or Earth-2. But if you already have something, again, make money with it by renting it out. Excuse me. Will Vivi add WWE? I don't know. That'd be hard to get I don't know how hard it'd be to get the licensing for that, but I'm sure they've thought about it. What they might do is, again, every license they've wanted, they've gotten. I don't know if they've tried for it yet. That'd be amazing. Oh, Eddie Guerrero Vivi. Eddie Guerrero NFT on Vivi. I would buy all of those. They definitely have different variants. They'd have Latino Heat. They'd have the one where it has Viva La Raza. They have the one with the t-shirt says, I'm your papi. The one that says, I'm addicted to the heat. They would have everything. With the one with his Tabasco sauce, Rey Mysterio. Oh my God. That has so much history. WWE back, to when Vince McMahon's dad was, trying to get all them on. Back in the day, they were just original. They had 300 different wrestling companies, all there's Washington, there's from California. There was no one uniting them under one banner. And then, the McMahons did it. They went and they created an empire. NWO. Luke Blakey says exactly my plan right there. See, NWO would be cool. They went a little crazy with that after a while, but that'd be good. D-Generation X would be great for NFTs for that. And that's one thing that you should take into account for EPLs, your Earth place location in Earth-2. Make it D-Generation X land. Make it Viva La Raza. Make it that Viva La Raza city or Ciudad. Make it something with the Road Warriors. What a rush. Make it something with anyone. Someone's going to do something horrible with Chris Benoit. I know it. That's going to be... Apologize, Chris Benoit. Don't kill me. Make someone with Booker T, John Cena, Undertaker, Doink the Clown, Tatanka. Guarantee you those are going to be popular EPLs or people that are going to be trying for those EPLs. Wrestling fan, when you're deployed in the military, my veteran buddies will know this. There are two things that you watch there: college football and wrestling. Those are the only two things that you watch in a deployed location, because that's all. That's just what you do. You bond. Even the girls get into it. Girls are just so. My friend Teresa, I'm gonna tell this story for her, where a lot of times you get bored when you're deployed because there's nothing else to do. There's no internet or electricity a lot of times, and they would bet on this scorpion's about to fight this other bug, this other thing, and they would throw money down betting on which bug would win, and then they got in trouble for gambling. I was like, what? You got in trouble for gambling? That makes no sense. So, real quick, guys. Okay, there we go. My throat is coated once again. Grandmaster Marvel says, have you heard any crazy military sex stories? I don't know if I could talk about that. Well, you're not supposed to while you're deployed, but everyone breaks that rule because you're in a stressed environment. You need a release. It happens. You need that human connection. And again, you're not supposed to, but it's called desert hot? I forget what the name of it's called, but when you're in the desert, in general, in the military, if you are a 7 on the outside, you're a 9 in the military on a military base. But when you're deployed, if a woman is a 6 in civilian life, she's an 8 or a 9 while you're deployed, because you're just surrounded by men most of the time. Women have all the power. Like they can do whatever they want because, yeah, that they rule us. So moving on. Quad Shoto says Pinsir versus Heracross. My money's on Pinsir. Shout out to Risa. If anyone's played Pokemon Snap, they actually do have a Pinsir versus Heracross fight in there, and Pinsir wins. I've tried to make it see. I've done that a bunch of times to see if Heracross ever wins. They don't. Heracross just flies away, as saying like, "Okay, I'm done with this. You're too strong." But also, there's a way for it to be a stalemate. If you throw those pester balls, those things that glowy orbs at Sylveon. Okay, this is at night, and then you wake Sylveon up, and then you get Heracross to go fight Pinsir, and you play music while Sylveon comes. They're not going to fight in front of Sylveon. They all like fight or they all play and they dance and they're friends. So it's really cool. Better passive income from staking OMI or renting out NFTs. Definitely staking. Renting out NFTs, I feel like unless there's so many people trying to buy or trying to rent it out that you can make it go through the moon, staking NFTs get you about 5 to 7% each year. Where if you have $100,000 and you stake that, you're getting an extra 5 to 7 grand a year. Now, if you're making $50 a day, let's say you're renting out 4 days a week. Say it's $200 a week. Let's say times 50 weeks. You're not going to put it all 50 days. So that's, 10 would be about 2,000. So that'd be actually you could if it's $50 a day, 4 days a week. Let's say for 50 weeks. Yeah, that's actually more than you would get than if you stake $100,000 of Ethereum or OMI, because again you get about 5 to 7%. So yeah, you'd actually get more with the. I was wrong. You'd get more running at NFTs. Gen 2 can't beat Gen 1. I would like to see the moves that they had, because Heracross did not have decent moves in Gen 1. Heracross got super good later in the other generations, but yeah, Gen 2 did not have a lot of good moves for Heracross. Hard to get to. Thoughts on mining? So that's the other thing. When we mine for resources in Earth 2, we might be able to mine for the coins as well. I think they've had something like that on Roblox as well, where you have to like dig for Bitcoin, dig for Ethereum, or I think that was Minecraft maybe, but that's another thing that could be possible as well, which is so amazing. That's so inventive, being able to go and say like, oh hey, as I mine this, I make money. And that'll be good for the game too. They could use the game's computer power. They could use the game's to be able to mine for resources, and you're mining for crypto. That's brilliant if they do that. I don't know how that would work though, because a lot of people are playing on their phones. Grandma Small says Dashy has been pretty clean. I've just been. Oh, why did I disconnect for a second? Sorry guys. Either way, this is something that I'm going to be doing for. I'll stream in the morning. I'll stream at night, and I'll do that for as long as you guys want to listen to me. As long as I have thoughts. And again, I might not even be able to keep up with the fact that new things come out every day, especially once Earth 2 gets into phase 2, and when Vivi announces that they're doing Pokemon and Disney and stuff, we already know exactly what's going on with the dump when we go. And when I say dump, when the investors are liquidating some of their funds, they're in it for the long haul. They're only liquidating some stuff to take some profit, to make their lives more comfortable, and that's good. They deserve to do that. Same thing with Earth 2. Earth 2 is going to go public at some point as well. They were already offered to go public. I don't know if it's an ICO or an IPO, but they were off to go public, and Shane and the development team said no, they're not going to do it yet because it's not ready. So they're doing this. They're in for the long haul, both of these companies, and if we wait till 2030, I mean, obviously it's going to grow much quicker than that, but by 2030 you're going to see something that. Oh my God, Raythak says, while stationed in Korea, the deployed women were called 12-month beauty queens. They were our masters. Yeah. What part of Korea were you in? Because there is Osan. No, it's Osan. No, that's a different one. Oh my God, where was that base? Air base in Korea. There was a lady of the night that was always outside the gate. Maybe it was Osan. I keep thinking that's Japan, but there was a lady of the night that was always outside the gate that's been there for like 20 years apparently. Never had the pleasure of meeting her. Thank God. Um, so what's my workout routine like? It depends on the day. Like when I run, I try to just sprint, just because my hips die after like a half hour. So I try to sprint get as much as I can in like 25 minutes. But like today was back, so I did 50 pull-ups, but in the way it's like, all right, I did like 30 like this, I did 10 like this, and 10 like this. So all different variations of it, trying to hit different spots. And then just for biceps, I just did different types of curls. It was pretty regular, nothing crazy. I'm not trying to look like I'm not Comic-Con ready. I'm not fight ready. I'm not. What I used to do before COVID, I'd try to go into bus, whether it's like Modern Fighting Arts Academy or just go to my friend Ty, who has a heavy bag, and we would spar. It's really just working on power a lot because I'm so small. I'm only 5'9". I want to be able to be, at least when I hit, I want it to hurt. I haven't been lean in a while. I haven't been lean since even 2019. I was here. 2017, I was like 167, and I was super fast. It was great. But it's different. I haven't been able to jump rope recently, but that's always fun too. Sit-ups are great. Abs, a man's abs are his life. I still can't get. So again, thank you, Raythax, for that $5 super chat saying, well, Station Korea deployed women were called 12-month beauty queens. Fantastic. Hey, Hudson, what's going on? Grandmaster Wall says, Busan? No, Osan, I believe. Hudson says, hope you are well. Yeah, I'm doing very well. I got my peeps here. We're all hanging out and chilling out, going over some military stories, going over some stuff. Yeah, military, a lot of times, danger does come from the enemy. Danger comes from doing joint operations with Saudi Arabia and them not liking women. Like, we're not going to work with your women. It's like, oh, well, this is going to be rough. It's going to be a rough day. Grandmaster Wallace says, you're thinking of Osaka in Japan. No, what the heck is that base in South Korea, that Air Force base in South Korea? I think it's Osan. I don't know why I'm derping on that. Someone Google Air Force base in South Korea. Oh, you're on the DMZ. Oh my God. How is that? That seems like that's really stressful. Now, is it boring, Raythax? Because it feels like that would be like, I remember seeing a video once. These North Korean soldiers were trying to get like this person that was fleeing. He was fleeing. He did it. He jumped the fence and he's trying to flee for South Korea. And one soldier, he accidentally goes across that DMZ line where South Koreans had every right to shoot him. And he's like, oh, and he immediately like steps back. It's like, yeah, he knew he was gonna get pwned. Yeah. Oh, morning, Alex. How's everything going? Glad I could get. Yeah, Osan. Yeah, that was it. That was it. I don't know why I was derping on that. But morning, Alex. How is everything going for you over there where you are? Raythax says, oops, one. All right, 506. Gotcha. I was working in, in New Jersey, it was 305th APS, the Aerial Port Squadron. AMC stands for Alcoholics Moving Cargo. But what was in Kuwait, in Al Yasalem, it was the 386 ELRS, the Logistics Readiness Squadron. And we did a bunch of joint operations with a bunch of people, whether it was Israeli Defense Force they were pretty chill. We got along. Guys from Norway, we got along, and we had a bunch of civilian contractors on there. We didn't have Blackwater. We have Raytheon, and who was the other one? I forget. But they had such chill hours. They would work like 8 hours a day. Like, what? Like, I was so salty at them. We were working like 14, 15 hours a day. It's like, these mother flappers that are working like 8 hours a day, making $100,000 a year. I hated them so much. In Afghanistan, they have people that what they do is like, when somebody drops off your laundry, they go or at least in Kandahar? No, I think it's just Bagram, where they have people like, oh, you're dropping off your laundry? Here, sign this. All right, I'm going to sign this as, A1C whatever, A1C Snuffy. And then they say, okay, we're going to have your laundry back in, 3 or 4 days, because you don't do your laundry in Bagram. They do it for you. And that person with a clipboard makes $100,000 a year. What type of BS is that? I hate that so much. Quad Shoto says, not a veteran, but I've done prison time. Can confirm those nurses are female. COs that are 4 5s on the street are smashable all day. Hate being around sausage. Oh, man. I bet you have some crazy stories too, don't you, Quad Shoto? Alex says, all good, thanks. 7 a.m. coffee with the one and only, the real Randy Chavez is turning into my new daily routine. We're going to be doing this all day, Alex. What do you want to talk about? Because we're going all night. We're going all night. Or as long as you guys want to. I mean, I think, need some water real quick. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to pee at some point. I'll let you go. We're gonna go until I have to pee, and then just gonna go. Outside of that, we have what I plan to do, which I haven't really told anyone yet, is that I'm gonna be able to take not only a racetrack, I want to have a boat track, obviously in Brazil, but I want to have a multi-continent go-kart track. Figure Mario Kart, where you go from starting in Antarctica, you go into one teleporter, and then takes you to somewhere in Brazil. Out in South America, go through that, takes you to somewhere in New York. Then you have a piece of track, you're gonna go through that, it's gonna take you somewhere in China, and that covers Asia. Go through that, you're gonna take you somewhere in Australia. That's what I want. Like, that's gonna be so cool. Obviously, I wanna have cameras set up to make sure everyone's going through each one, through each EPL. What do I have in Europe? I have stuff in Kaiserslautern, I have stuff in Switzerland, I have stuff in Austria too, so I would definitely like to do that. I want a multi-continent that covers all the continents, racetrack for a type of Mario Kart thing. That would be insanely awesome. I would love that. Moving on. If anyone wants to do that, Alex says, honestly, Randy, I've been thinking and I'm concerned that you have no plans to sell out even a portion of your OMI prior to the bear market. Well, that's the thing. I just got an $8,000 tax bill from last year, and it's like, I hate taxes. I hate giving taxes to the government more than I love taking in profits. Alex says, I feel like OMI is very likely to drop 50% along with the general market. I think it's prudent to sell 20. You're probably right. And I say this like, you are probably right. Let's say it goes to 16 cents by the end of the year. And it's not a bad idea to sell at 10 or 12 cents when it reaches a certain point. And then as it does that, Raythax saying, I'm out. Good night, my brothers and sisters. Earth 2 for the win. Thank you, Raythax. Thank you so much for these super chats. They are amazing. Thank you so much, Raythax. Those mean the world to me. It is not that, getting back to you, Alex, saying it is not uncommon for people to do that. They sell at 10 or 12, and yeah, they miss out on some of the gains that goes up here. But then when that winter comes, that bear market comes, and they take a 50% haircut, it goes from 16 cents down to 8 cents, or even a 75% haircut, and it goes down to 4 cents. Okay. If it goes down to 4 cents, then you can buy back in. I agree 100%. You're right. Let's say if I sell 100,000, or let's say I sell 1,000,000 OMI at 10 cents, and I get $100,000. And in that $100,000, I save 33,000 for taxes, and then, or let's make it easy. I save. I can buy that when it drops down to 6. Let's say it drops down to 6 cents. I take 60% of those profits and rebuy in, and then 30% for taxes, and then let's say I make 10 grand on it. Like, I net 10 grand after paying taxes and after rebuying back in. I net 10 grand, and I don't lose anything. Or I take that extra 10 grand and buy more. Now this way I have 10 grand more worth of OMI. I could do that. I hate giving taxes to the government, but also I don't trust myself. I'm more comfortable like this. I'm more comfortable saying, hey, let me go and just ride. I know it's going to go down at some point, because that's just what happens, especially if Bitcoin's going to dip. We're going to a bear market. And I'm just going to be more comfortable holding on, because if I try to get cute, again, I don't think I'm smart enough, even though I think you're right. And my technical analysis is decent enough to say, like, okay, I'm not going to sell at the tippy top. But let's say I sell at 10 cents and it goes to 16. I'm going to feel a certain type of way about that, knowing that it goes down. Okay, that's fine. I don't know how low it's going to go. It could go to 2 cents, go to 5. If it only goes down to 8 cents, if it only takes a 50% haircut from 16 to 5, or God forbid I sell at 10 cents, it goes to 25 cents, and then it only goes down to 12. I don't know exactly where it is, and if I lose money on it, I'm just going to hate myself forever. But knowing full well that most likely, yeah, it'll go to 15 cents and maybe down to 5, and I could have rebought in and made myself a quick 10 grand or whatever. I just don't, that's just me. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. But if you 100% know exactly what is going to happen, if you 100% know that, or not 100%, but if you're like, no, based on this historical data, going from here, it's probably going to go down to here, take a 75% haircut, then by all means, if you can make that money, go for it. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. Raythax, again, thank you so much. You're out. I love you. You're my bae. Alex says, you could potentially grow your position significantly by selling some and buying back, plus add some extra cash. I definitely could do that too. And then I could just worry about taxes next year. And I have 5 million OMI right now, and I will have a lot more once that Trophy Kangaskhan sells, and then I'll be able to get that. So I will think about it. I will go deeper into it and think, okay, well, if I sell here, even if it goes up to here, most likely go down to here, I could rebuy in, and then worry about taxes next year, and I could stake with some. Yeah, I will look into it. I promise. I'll let you know. I'll keep posted. Purely to grow the number of OMI you hold. Yeah, that could be good too. Roland Rice says, Randy, what up, brother? So bleak, my GoChain dropped. My GoChain dropped on me, and E2 is going to adopt GoChain. Flip, I wish I knew. I don't think they're going to necessarily adopt GoChain. Even though the founder of GoChain is following Shane on Twitter, I think that I don't know if they're going to use GoChain or they're going to use something on the GoChain like OMI, or create something for themselves on GoChain. I don't know if that'll have a big effect on GoChain or if it'll have a big effect on whatever they buy. Speaking of whatever they buy, in honor of Raythax, we're going to do a throwback here because he super chats so much to me. I love him. It is going to be, wait. The jig is up, news is out, they finally found me. The renegade who had it made, retreat for a bounty, never more to go astray. So everyone, thank you all so much for being here. It's been an hour and a half. Let's see what we got here. Zoheb Abbasi says, did he already talk about the tax letter? Yeah, so I'll go over it again real quick. If you sell within 1 year of buying any type of crypto, because Coinbase will automatically say like, oh, hey, you, what do you call it? They have to report to the government. You have to, whatever short-term capital gains is a lot. It's like 35 to 45% of your profits, which is so much. But a long-term capital gains could be like 15 to like 21% or something like that for the first like $15,000, and then it gets more expensive as it goes on. But that's just something that I would rather pay that short-term capital gains, even if I have to sacrifice some short-term gains that I could have gotten, by hodling, by holding. So I don't want to give money to the government that I don't have to. And outside of that, if you do have that, just be prepared to pay your taxes. If you do sell, save 30% of that for taxes, and you will thank me. You will be happy. Oh, got that set aside. We're good. Zoheb Abbasi said, Ambulance Camping says, are the taxes calculated on each sell, or just when you take money back out to the bank account? Taxes calculated on they are calculated if you take profit. Like if you, I don't know how it would work with Bit4X, Asian company, but on Coinbase, no, they report those sells to the government. If you sell and buy something else, I think that's just a transfer of assets. I think you're going to well, that's for business owners. I don't know. I haven't not been a business owner since the military. And in the military, you just had what's that called? HG block or something, or TurboTax, which does it for free for you. But I don't know what it's like for normal civilians. But if you're a business owner, if you sell something and then immediately buy something else, then that's a transfer of assets, and you most likely don't have to pay taxes on that. But for everyone else, I'm not sure. Totally Awesome says, what's on your bucket list? My bucket list would probably be, well, definitely, buying land in Madagascar and other places to save animals, help endangered species. Best Friends Animal Society, same thing. Bucket list, I guess it would be to, I don't know, those right now. Maybe to get back into shape really well, to get that surgery where my I can take hair from back here and put it up here because it's thinning. So I really want to be able to take care of that. I fixed my teeth also. I got in a fight once and um, tooth went that way. So I'd want to fix that as well. That's really more cosmetic and things that are more vain than anything. I'd really want to be. I have these Be Me stories on that I write in green text on Facebook, and they're one of the funniest things. That they're like hilarious, and they are, I would say, a combination between like Big Bang Theory and Long Beach Griffey. Like they're funny and they're quick-witted, but they're also outrageous and crazy, like Long Beach Griffey. And I think either animating those or getting someone to act in those. I'd be a little too old to act for it now because again, I'm the main character, and it started when I was 23. When I was in the military, I started writing those, and it actually starts, because I have New York friends. So I probably would start maybe when I was 19 or whatever. So we would need a bunch of kids. We would need a bunch of kids, fresh out of high school, whatever. And then going to the military years, it would be something that would span several years. It'd be my life. So maybe books or whatever, just being recognized for something fun, or maybe acting in general as well. Love to be in a Marvel movie. Quad Shoto says, Randy, are you a boomer, doomer, bloomer, zoomer, coomer, or consumer? I guess part of me has some boomer in me. I'm a millennial, because you have zoomer and boomer in there. But yeah, I consume stuff, all that. Alex says, have you ever considered giving up USA passport and moving to a tax-free country? This is becoming more and more common. Life has changed, financial advantages, especially investment. I have. And it would make sense because I would say 40% of my friends are not in America. They're in Germany, they're in Guam, although Guam is an American territory. They're in Japan, they're in Europe, they're in Austria, they're in London, especially now when I have all of you guys that are in different parts of the world as well, in the Netherlands and Lithuania. And I've thought about it, but at the same time, 60% of my friends are in the U.S. and I can't. And obviously, I can come here for visiting, but it would have to make sense. Also, I don't think I can do that to my girlfriend. She's helped me out so much. She's been a pretty good rock in my life. So I would want to. If I were to do that, I don't think I can convince her to come with me. Maybe do part-time or have my address in somewhere else while living here, even though my address is somewhere else. Again, I could do that through one of my businesses. I'm not sure. Alex said, or at least looking into getting a second passport and potentially saving significant. Yeah, I think I might do that. I think if you have a place in Puerto Rico, the taxes that you pay is like nothing. Peter Schiff did that. He's very, very smart. Not with crypto, but a lot of things he's smart in. Quad Shoto says, Puerto Rico is yeah, exactly. Puerto Rico is tax-free. Grandmaster Mahal says, I'm sure you could come back to USA. I just need a visa. Yeah, I could definitely do that. Especially because I served, I'm pretty sure I can get something. This is like, oh, hey, yeah, do that. Alex said, your business can be run from anywhere. Friends and family is a big factor for sure. Appreciate that. Hua. Quad Shoto says, gotta hodl the girlfriend always. All right, guys, it's been an hour and a half. I will stream again in the morning, most likely 10 o'clock as well, Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for all who super chatted. Thank you so much for the comments and likes. Actually, can we get me to 50 likes? I'm at 49 now. It'd be great if I can go to 50. If not, it's not a big deal. Have a good night, Dave Van Drunnen. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. We love you. Goodbye, all. $95 hairs. And we got the 50 likes. And 22. All right, I love you guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Later, Alex, I'm so glad I could be here with you for the first couple of minutes of your morning. Woof! Says Grandmaster Wawa. See you, buddy. All right, goodbye, guys. I love you all. Goodbye. Meow, 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 meow.